Go. Keep coughing. Keep coughing. I don't know. Someone's choking. Who's that? I think. America, baby.
People, stop destroying America, please. Destroying the cities, the sidewalks, everything just to get some rocks and throw a couple cups. Stop it.
This
We
is
live
America,
in a great
baby.
country. You guys are messing it up.
Red, white, and blue.
Right. This is America, and we want it the way it is. Welcome to the motherfucking podcast, guys. Thank you for joining us one more time on week 11. What happened? Okay.
Oh,
week
are you supposed to
week
lower the
11.
music down? I canceled it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Week 11 coronavirus podcast. We're still here. We're reporting live. We got a very special guest today. We got Elias. We got Robert Tucci, the regulars. We got me, Martin, and we got a very special guest today. We got Ever. I don't know if you want me to disclose anything else about you. I know you're completely disguised, but thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
How are you doing today, brother?
I'm good, bro.
We're
hanging out,
just chilling, living life.
just chilling, living life, living the American fucking dream.
I love it. I love that shit. I love that shit.
I love.
Well, on that note, let me thank
shit.
our sponsors. Our sponsors tonight are Alpaca Chicken. Thank you. If you guys want some alpaca chicken, or if you guys are downtown protesting, leave Alpaca Chicken alone, you motherfuckers. That's the best chicken in town. Don't fuck it up.
Don't
thank you.
motherfuckers. They use fucking great charcoal. I love their fucking charcoal. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
It's fucking delicious. No, thank you for saying. Also, Nation Homes. If you guys need some remodeling in the Raleigh area, search Nation Homes. They'll take care of you. They'll do your patio. They know how to do everything. So Nation and if you want to do some shopping on eBay, go to Blue Betsy Boutique and get some shopping done. On that note, let's get this shit on the motherfucking route. So what's good, Ever, man? Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've been looking. You've been kind of off the grid, and I just started seeing your Facebook videos, and they're fucking awesome and hilarious. And I saw the one where you're like get pulled over by the cops, and you're like, fucking turn that shit on, and you're like, fuck it, I forgot my license at home, and then you can see the fucking cop coming up, and it just kind of works out. I was like, this motherfucker is so crazy, dude. He's so crazy. You recorded the whole thing.
Yeah, that's like one of so many fucking encounters with the police that I've had recently. That's one of many. I got fucking... It's just crazy, man. The situation right now, and we can't ignore it, and we can't fucking sit here and act like it's not happening. It's a fucking reality. This is America, and it's not only America, bro. This is the fucking globe. This is Earth right now as we see it. You know, it's fucking crazy. So yeah, that one incident that you are mentioning, that you're talking about specifically, I was leaving my fucking house. And I was just going fishing, and he ran my plate, and my shit's expired because of all this fucking shutdown shit. But I am a DACA recipient, so I didn't renew it, and a whole bunch of bullshit. So I didn't have my fucking wallet on me. I didn't have anything, and I just recorded the whole thing because I mean, people are scared, bro. Like I wasn't. And the funny thing is that I didn't even think to record. Like, I'm never like, oh, okay, as soon as I see a fucking pig, I'm going to, like, pick my fucking camera up and record. Like, that's not my motive. But, like, I was just, like, I saw my phone, and I was like, oh, fuck, blue lights. And I was like, oh, fuck it. Let's record it. So, I mean, that's a very good topic, actually, that I think we could talk about. It's just, like, camera and recording and, like, policing the police, basically, you know? But, I mean, it was a good outcome. And he was a really chill cop, I mean, he had all the right to fucking arrest me right then and there because I didn't have a license. He didn't have a way to identify me. It was my word against his. So he could have just been easily like step out of the car or whatever. But I explained him the whole thing and he was very polite. I gave him my name. He ran my shit. He came back with a ticket and now have 3 citations for no license in 2 months. So that's where I'm at. That's where I've been. That's what I've been dealing with, bro. Just dealing with shit, bro. Dealing with life, like taking a hit. I was married. I got divorced. You know Kayla. So, oh shit, called her out. So yeah, I just kind of, went through the
Shout out
divorce.
to Kayla.
Thanks
for listening, Kayla.
Fuck you. So I just, went
number 1 listeners.
Fucking went through my divorce, went through deep alcoholism because I stayed in the service industry, and you know how that's an epidemic. Alcohol and fucking drugs in the service industry is crazy. So I went through that shit, and then I just kind of came back from it. Like, I don't know, I was in a deep fucking depression. Like, when I talk about like deep, it was like pretty fucking crazy. I did a lot of shit that I wish I didn't do.
Bro,
I took a bunch of fucking routes that I wish I didn't take. But I'm here and I'm alive and I'm fucking in the fight, and I'm just like, I don't know, bro. Like, these are the conversations, and that's what I was so excited to when you were like, oh, we're doing a podcast. It's just to shoot you shit or whatever. It was just like, yeah, sometimes we just need to have those conversations, and we're afraid to have those conversations. And I'm the type of guy, like, don't fucking text me. Don't sit there and troll me on fucking Facebook. Like, if you want to have a conversation about something, like, hit me up. You want to fucking fight, we'll put some gloves on. We'll fucking scrap it out, and then I'll shake your hand afterwards, But if you want to fucking do it like face to face. None of this fucking bullshit writing on the computer. I don't know, bro. I'm just like, I hate phones because they give us a lot of white noise and a lot of fucking just like misunderstandings and a lot of fucking bullshit. They help us misunderstand each other in a way. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense to any of y'all.
So,
bro, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Ever, man, like that's awesome, dude. Like that you're talking about is so real and all that. So I think like having a good background for everyone in terms of like where like your story, where do you come from, and like where have you been, like just so we can put everything into context.
Well, yeah, you guys don't know Ever, so it's kind of. But I want to say something before we get into that, because first off, there's no topics we talk about. We just go crazy on this, and that's kind of been my thing, and it's what has been so hard to advertise this podcast, because it's not like this is a podcast about tigers, this is a podcast about cooking, it's a podcast, it's just I love the idea of just free flow, and that's what I'm about, and I just have so much fun, and that's the main reason why we are doing this, what you just said, right? Because it's so hard nowadays to take an hour aside to just talk, right? And the podcast is a great excuse to do so. Whether anybody's listening, whether we have, all these wonderful sponsors giving us, thousands of dollars, that's just on the side. But the fact that every Wednesday is just like we all set time aside to sit down and talk for an hour. And sometimes it's been hard to do it, like, but you still do it anyways because you have this commitment to do it. That's the main reason we're doing this. And yeah, I do like what you're saying is pretty cool. Like, as far as like, it seems like you get so connected to a computer, or like people, like you have so many fucking friends on Facebook, but you don't fucking really even know any of them. And to be honest with you, Ever, I thought you might have been mad at me for some reason, because I didn't hear from you for a while, and then
after you sucked my dick and you did a bad job at it, of course I was pissed.
Well, I mean I'm fucking trying, man. I'm working on it, but it's hard because my gag reflex is it's really bad. But I'll get better. But yeah, so what I guess. What Tucci
was
saying?
Yeah, Tucci was on.
Tucci's good. He's good at sucking dick for sure. But I guess my question, what Tucci wants you to do, which I think would be good for those who are listening.
You fucking Martin, shut the fuck up. I said Tucci was about to say something and you fucking cut him off.
No, he already said it. He already said he sucks mad dick. But what I'm saying is,
no, he just wants to steal my thunder now. It's all good. It's all good.
Can you give us some background? Hey, is Elias even there? Is he fucking fall asleep again? Elias, hello, we're here.
I'm listening to your conversation about who sucks better dick than anyone. So who is the best one at sucking dick over here? Like we got Juan Martin Ojos, or Robert Tucci. What's up?
Tucci wins it all.
I didn't know this, man.
I'm a very competitive person, so.
Anyways, if you had to give some background on yourself, what would you say? Like, just give us some background of your.
Were you born in Mexico? Or yeah, you were born in Mexico because you got.
Yeah. I'll give you guys. The whole rundown real quick, like real.
Give me the 10-page paper.
So I was born in Mexico City, raised there till I was 11. Moved here. It took me 4 fucking months to cross the border. With my parents and my mom, my dad, my brother, and one uncle. So I got here, and then I stayed in Texas because my dad had an irrigation company, and he was based out of North Carolina, but he also had another base in Texas. So we stayed there for like, I don't know, a year or like a month, and then we drove up here to North Carolina, and I've lived in Raleigh since August of 2001, right before the Twin Towers went down. So that was like for August, September, October, November, September, 4 months before the Twin Towers went down. And after the Twin Towers went down, everything completely changed in America. So motherfuckers talk about change and shit that went down now, that is going down now, and all this shit, all these feelings that we're having right now in this fucking moment, they were kind of like, you know, like that happened back in 2001 when the fucking Twin Towers went down, bro.
Was different back then is that it was an enemy that we could get all behind, right? So in 2001.
Yeah, it's like when Mexicans and blacks were like, "Oh, sorry, Arab, sorry, Middle Easterns, you're it."
Well, yeah, it was a pretty easy enemy to get behind, so everybody came together, right? Everybody was like, "Fuck this." What's weird about now is that you can still kind of deny it, right? We live in a time where anything can be denied and say that this is not necessarily happening, that there is no racism, that there is no discrimination,
right?
That the cops, it's hard to even say. I mean, even myself, I don't know. Are the cops really actually targeting African Americans? It's sure. I think at a glance, I would say yes.
Right.
I said, like, if somebody asked me, like, are cops fucking up black people more than they're fucking up white people, I would say yes. Right. Yeah, like, but I don't know any statistics. I think Elias has brought this up in the last podcast. It says that I bet if we were to go look at the numbers, and I guess one of us should have fucking looked up the numbers. God damn it. Fucking Tucci, I told you to look up the numbers, bro.
Well, look. So here, look. You ask, are police officers targeting blacks, Latinos, whoever? And that's a very hard question to answer, right? Even if you look at statistics, because it's not. That's the wrong question.
Yeah.
The right question is, what's causing all of this? And it's not necessarily what the police officers are doing. It's the country. It's our institutions. It's institutional racism, right? Yep. And it's something where you can't just look at a number and say, okay, there's this many people dying from police officers, you know, there's this many black people dying. You have to look at the interactions, right? And so, like, you see this guy on film in Minneapolis, right? This police officer putting his knee on Floyd's neck, right? And for almost 8 minutes straight, because apparently Floyd, like, did a financial crime. It wasn't even a violent crime. So he's sitting there for 8 minutes killing this fucker, right? Killing him, and he's telling him, I can't breathe. So what causes that? And it's not just him. It's not just the one police officer. There was 3 other police officers there. 2 were holding down Floyd, and the other one was just kind of roaming about.
Well, here's the real question.
They just got charged, which they should fucking get. Yeah, I agree. They should all get fucking charged. Any fucking police officer that was in a fucking, I don't know, in eyesight, in a fucking radius of like a measurable radius that was there and heard Floyd screaming for his fucking life should get charged.
Well, here's the real question. Here's the real important question.
If they wouldn't have respected the rules of what's going on, that you're supposed to stay 6 feet away from everybody, this shouldn't have happened. Everybody.
Yeah, good point, dude.
The freaking rules, man. They don't follow the rules.
Fucking assholes don't listen to anybody. No, but here's the real question. Is it because here's the actual thing at question is it because he was black, or is it just they would have done that to anyone, right? Because what you're describing, Tucci, is a very gruesome thing, and everybody would agree. Everybody would agree that was the wrong thing to do, right? This guy did not follow procedure. That is not a police technique. Whatever the fuck, right? But the real question is, would he have done the same thing had it been a wide, blue-eyed dude? Would he have done the same thing in the same situation?
Absolutely not.
That's it.
Think about it.
How do you know that? Why do you so sure?
No,
Tell me why.
The reason I'm so sure is substitute Floyd for an 25 or do the same age white girl with blue eyes, blonde hair, whatever. She could even be brunette. Doesn't matter.
Wait. How about white girl? Because I think the social distinction females and males are a lot stronger. So let's say white guy. Say white guy.
Dude, it doesn't matter. Look at that couple in Atlanta, right? The black couple, the black college couple that got fucking.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Stopped in their car, got tased, got fucking brutally. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a female black person. It doesn't matter if you're a male black person. All that matters is that you're black, right?
And that you're brown. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Right. Well, the reason is still, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm a brown man, so I'm not defending the situation. I'm just trying. It's very hard to prove that concept, right? It's very hard to prove that, in fact, this cop would have not done the same thing to a white person.
Well, statistically speaking, the fucking question you just asked has been answered. We've been having this shit. This shit has been boiling
has it?
Since the 60s. Yes, it has.
Because last podcast, Aaliyah said it was like 40%. It was like the same.
No,
and but here's the thing
listen, bro. Listen, I don't give a fuck. We've tried with Malcolm X. We've tried with Martin Luther King. We've tried with a lot of fucking protesters. We've asked peacefully, and they still get fucking killed. Since the 60s. This is my thing, bro. I love fucking cooking. And this is the way I think about it. It's like
I want to see this connection.
Bro, listen. This shit is America's melting pot, right? We're so proud of immigrants and we built this fucking country and shit. And then we start putting our seasoning, Mexicans do their little thing, Latinos do their shit, black people do their things. It's culture. It's fucking culture, like Latino culture, Filipino culture, Asian culture, and it's all in the same pot, right? And it's boiling, and you're like turning it up, you're heating it up, you're putting the herbs in and shit. This is what us as a fucking unit in America have done. We're fucking cooking this melting pot. And it's been boiling with a lot of questions that haven't had answers. And we've asked, and they've asked. Latinos had the fucking to deal with the whole fucking when they weren't paying them the right wages out in the fields, bro. This is bigger than race. This is bigger than anything. This just blew out of proportion. Like, it's institutionalized racism to move the money around to a higher power, bro. But going back to my point of the melting pot, now that it's fucking boiling, and now that everybody has to fucking sit here and eat that soup, guess what? That fucking soup don't taste so good because we're fucking assholes. We're humans. People love being on top all the fucking time. Are you kidding me? That feeling that you get when you're like better than somebody at something, that little fucking ego that we have is what America has. But guess what? Trump is fucking egging it on, bro. And that's what happens, bro. He keeps.
That's another thing. That motherfucker, dude, has dealt with this in the worst possible fucking way that I could have. All right, whether you like Trump or not, it's not a secret that I don't like Trump, but he has dealt with this situation. You have to admit even if you like Trump, you have to admit that he's dealt with the situation in the worst possible fucking way. Going around telling governors that they are weak and that they should fucking do something else cannot be the fucking right way to go about it. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Well, also, so going back to like the whole cause, the whole epidemic of systemic racism. So, Martin, like the perfect example that I can think of to describe this to you, and by the way, just as the underlying point here, it's not a scientific question; it's a social question. So, you asking these questions like, well, what do the statistics say? That's the wrong question. Right?
Well, particularly because they can be manipulated, just like Floyd died from a chronic condition, not a cop abuse.
Let me finish my point. So there's certain things that you cannot measure, right? Perfect example, and I don't know if you want me to talk about this, but that traffic stop that you had, right?
Oh, you can talk about it all you want. I don't care.
Way back when they stopped you in that Jeep that was owned by your wife, right?
Right.
And they pulled you to the side. What was the underlying? Did they think you were speeding? What was the registration?
So I got pulled over because and he gave me a bogus ticket for failing to maintain line control, which I don't think that it was a thing. And ever, just so you get a little background, and those who've heard this before in the podcast, I'm sorry, but and I'm repeating myself, but essentially a cop stopped me on the side of the road on the way from Fayetteville to Raleigh. And he decided that I was a drug trafficking mule or like a lord or something. And there was nothing I could do to change his mind.
You're from Colombia. Duh.
And I was driving a brand new truck. I had 2 cell phones because I worked at Verizon. So everything in him just seemed to tell him that I was trafficking drugs. He stopped me on the side of the road. He put me in his car. He brought a dog. He tried to intimidate me. He made me take my shirt off, took pictures of my tattoos. He searched my car for 2 hours, and after everything was said and done, he couldn't find the drugs. He was pissed. He lets me out of the car and says, "Get the fuck out." Like, he basically never apologized. And I kept on thinking, the more I agree with him, the more I give him what he wants, he's going to realize that I'm not hiding anything. But it never worked out. In this guy's brain, I had drugs, and I was trafficking large amounts of drugs, and he knew this, and it was just a matter of time for him to find out. And when he let me go, he just couldn't find him, is what he felt like. He felt like either I was on my way back from dropping him off, or I hit him somewhere that he couldn't find him. But he kept on saying,
that's why you need to film everything, bro. Everything.
I know. I should. After that encounter, I said I need to get, and I recommend this to anybody who's listening, because it doesn't cost that much. You could get a cam on your car, like a little dash cam. And dude, honestly, when I was sitting in his car and 2 cops are fucking with my car and I can't do anything, what's gonna keep them from like putting something in there? Like, thankfully this guy was profiling me, but he was not a corrupt cop. He in his mind, in his brain, I had drugs and it was just a matter of finding them. And I didn't have a little bit of drugs. He thought I had like a major amount of drugs. He thought I was like a drug lord. Right. And it was, you can't even blame the guy. And you can. I mean, his experiences, that's what he thought was right. He honestly 100% thought that he was protecting society by doing it.
Exactly. And that's my point, right? Why did he think that?
Because of so here's one thing that I'll say. If you're a cop, right? That's why I always make this point that is so important for training, right? Because if you're a cop and you're consistently around Hispanic people that are drug trafficking, so every single time you have a drug situation is a Hispanic person, then it's almost impossible as a human being not to create to have a correlation, right? It's almost natural for you, right? So, for example, you waited tables. I waited tables for years. There were ethnicities and races that would consistently not tip you, right?
Yes.
Ever? Are you there?
Yeah. I agree.
Is this thing on? Are you awake? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm not here, bro.
No. I'm just. No, so here's what I'm saying. If I'm a waiter and I consistently have this ethnicity, right? I think it's almost like natural in your brain, like you start associating things, right? So if and this did happen, there was a particular ethnicity that consistently did not tip, and there was times in which I would have that ethnicity or race sit on my table, and I would treat them differently in the sense that like I wouldn't be as helpful because I was used to it, right? And I don't know how to explain or justify this, but it was the reality, right? And then every now and then,
stereotypes.
Yeah,
we as humans create fucking stereotypes based on other people's behavior. That's not a secret, like.
But it was a very consistent thing, right? It wasn't like it would happen every now and then. It would happen extremely consistent,
right?
So you would act accordingly, right? So I see that I try to see that situation with a cop, not to justify it, but to say that he was in the same situation. A lot of the Hispanic people that he deals with would be the traffickers, and a lot of them would drive brand new trucks and have 2 phones and whatever. But you can't help to think that was fucked up. Here's where training is important, because if you are going to be a police officer and that's going to be what you do, you have to be trained to a level of cultural understanding to like be so introspective that you are not going to commit to make those mistakes. And that's what we're failing, I feel like.
So I'm going to flip that on its head. Okay. Listen to me very carefully.
Do it. Yes.
Listen to me very carefully.
Flip that shit upside down.
Go ahead
and 69 me real quick. What?
Think about the most fucked up financial crimes you've ever heard of in your life, right? Think about like Bernie Madoff, Elizabeth Holmes, Donald Trump, right? These people that are scamming hundreds, thousands,
Hillary Clinton,
of people out of their money, right? They're almost always white people, aren't they?
Yeah. But it's not those kind of crimes do not people most people don't understand those crimes fully.
Let him finish.
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying most people, I'm saying police.
He's just making a point.
So let's say a police officer stops me. Why doesn't he suspect me of participating in some financial crime? Right? If that's true, if what you said is 100% true, that all we need is training, and that it's just a stereotype, that it's just profiling, why not apply that to white people as well for crimes that mostly white people commit?
Because I tell you why, and dude, I agree with you. It's not justifiable. It's not.
Why. Fuck you.
It's not.
He's over there shaking because he's like, I can't.
I know exactly what to say here. No. I agree with you, right? So it's not fair. It's not fair, but life is not fair, dude. And here's what the difference is. If you are evading taxes and you are doing crazy shit like that, it's not that well known, bro. It's not as visual. It's not as like you stealing cars, you beating people up, you shooting somebody. It's completely is different than evading taxes or, I mean, name another financial crime. I don't even know.
Again, you just proved my point.
Exactly, right? And it's training.
It's ignorant.
I agree. It is ignorant, but training, and that's exactly you asked, and we went back to this point. Okay, we're not holding people accountable for this shit that they do, right? But before it was like nobody could, like, just think about it. Let's go back to like when people used to send fucking letters, you know? Like, oh my God, this fucking cop did this to me. Imagine your situation. Let's take your situation, Martin. And we're thinking about, and you live like when the cars first started being built in a or let's go to the 60s when all these fucking cops were profiling motherfuckers, getting them out of their car and shit. How would you say to your mom that lives in fucking New York that something like this happened to you? Well, you would write her a fucking letter and you would like be like, Mom, I went through this, I have to pay all these fines, blah, blah, blah. And then you send the fucking letter and then it takes another fucking week. And then your mom is blind because she's fucking blind and she sends back. It took that much time for you to communicate a thing to happen. Now, it's fucking you put on live stream and it's like, fuck you, I'm holding you accountable right now, back off. This is my space. I don't feel comfortable. So you see the fucking difference, bro? Like such a minute thing to do, and to the same way that they're pointing guns at us, the same way they're trying to intimidate us. We flip it on their fucking face and we use their same tactics. Because these are tactics. They are getting training. Somebody is training them. They have a fucking handbook. Just like the KKK, just like the fucking Boogalos, just like the fucking Zapatistas in Mexico, just like any organization that is trying to be militant has a handbook. Malcolm X had a handbook. Martin Luther King had a handbook. Everybody has a fucking standard and a ruling for your fucking organization.
Well, but is the handbook the official? I guess the point to make with the cops is that they're not going by the official handbook, that they have their own.
So we're holding. Exactly, we're not holding. Well, we have to do the fucking research, look at a fucking handbook, read it, and that's where people, and that's how they intimidate us. That's how they accomplish what they're doing, because they use that training on us, but we don't sit there and go and train as hard as they're training. Like motherfuckers like you and me don't go home and train and read this shit and take tests. And that's why I asked you, hey, if you have access to information about me getting CPR trained, me getting fucking something trained, me going to firefighter, doing shit like that. People aren't thinking like they're thinking. They're not thinking militant. They're not thinking organizing. They're not thinking having these fucking conversations that me, you, and these guys are having about what's happening around us and what we can do to prevent it. You know, I just got fucking gassed 5 times during these 2 protests, bro. Like, this ain't no bullshit. Like, this is downtown Raleigh. All these motherfuckers trying to act big here in 919. Fuck that shit. The big things are happening in LA, San Francisco, fucking Chicago, big fucking cities where all these people have been marginalized for years, decades now. Homeless are being pushed out of our fucking streets. How are you fucking gonna... The fucking mayor is a fucking part-time mayor. She's got 2 jobs. And guess what her fucking second job is? Just take a wild guess. You, Martin, tell me.
The mayor of what? Of North Carolina?
Correct. The mayor
of Raleigh?
Of Raleigh? Of Raleigh, yeah. Guess.
I don't know. What does she do?
She's got 2 jobs right now. She's the mayor and she's got another job. What do you think that other job is?
She runs restaurants.
Okay.
I don't know.
Gucci?
He probably fucking knows.
She's not a real estate agent, is she?
No, not a real estate agent. Elias, are you there?
She's a police officer. Police officer. Is she
no.
She's doing security.
She does construction building. Construction. Do you see how many cranes are in downtown Raleigh right now? 4 fucking cranes. Has anybody been paying attention to the railroads? How they're getting worked on right now? How the highways are getting fucking worked on? While all of us are fucking sitting here being drilled in the head that there's a fucking virus out there. And that we need to stay home and be safe and stay 6 feet away from each other. And like Elias said, if we were supposed to stay 6 fucking feet away from each other, then why is a fucking cop putting a fucking knee into somebody else's neck?
Here's what I say, dude. I agree with a couple of things you said. Like, knowledge is power. right? So we all should know our rights. That one of the biggest things that I took from my police stop years ago was there was a lot of things that I did not have to do that I did. I did not have to allow him to search my car. I could have just asked if I was under arrest. I could have been quiet. I could have just, there's a lot of things that I could have done differently. So, you know, when it comes to training or whatever, that's not the kind of training that I was referring to, but that is true. That is true. We need to know our rights.
Well, any training.
The question I have for you guys is, why do you think, because you can go to YouTube right now, and search police brutality on a black male, and you will find infinite amounts of videos of something just as bad, if not more fucked up. Well, I don't know if maybe a complete death, but what do you think made this particular video so powerful right now? And before you say anything, I have the suspicion that this is being blown up by people who are really good at marketing. Not to take away how important this is, but it hasn't been important before, and this has not been different in the past. But why is it important all of a sudden? And I feel like some people are manipulating this with marketing and social media to cause other things. For example, I'm very afraid that this is causing the president to have a reason to militarize the streets.
Right.
I almost feel like this is because so there's been a lot of people have been killed by the cops. There's a lot of people have been killed by the cops on video. Why is it all of a sudden that this one is? I mean, dude, people are protesting internationally, bro. Internationally, which is fucking amazing. But like, how come? Why is this one so important? What do you guys think? What's going on? Why is this one? But why is this one captivated everybody's attention?
Elias hasn't said shit.
Elias, say something.
So one of the things that I think this is a big one is just because people weren't doing shit for a couple months. They were just bored at their house. So as soon as something happens, everybody's like, okay, we can get out there. Let's do something. Many of these people going out there, I really don't think they really, really care about what happened to that man. They just want to go there, break a couple windows. And because breaking something makes you feel good. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you guys get mad, what do you guys do? Don't you guys like punch the table, punch a wall, punch something?
Yeah.
So these people were mad about this, or they were like, oh shit, this is an opportunity for me to throw my anger at something. So I really think like people weren't doing shit. So they were like, okay, this is a good opportunity to go out there and do something crazy. So a bunch of people got together, like a lot of people got together, just went out there, and I don't know how they protested here, but they broke a couple of stores. I don't understand why they went there and they broke the CVS pharmacy. Why they don't go and break the windows at the courthouse, or they go to the museum, something that is owned by the state, instead of breaking windows and doors of these like people that are, they work hard, they go and bust their restaurants windows, and they're like, these people have nothing to do with it. The other thing is like, I know there's many good cops out there, and this is probably like 10% of the cops that are probably doing something wrong. I don't think so there's poor training there. Like, they're being trained. It's just that I really think the training is good. What is not good is when the person takes a bigger role on what he's supposed to be doing, instead of like protecting on the streets, like doing the right thing. He feels like he has more power over people, and by him feeling like that, when you give that power to someone that is racist, then this shit happens. He ends up killing somebody.
I disagree, Elias, with you saying like this temp is like 10% of the cops that are
probably
cops.
2%. Like
maybe. That's, I don't know. I'm not asking for a number, but I'm just saying like like this is more than a good, like.
Well, people, why people don't like cops? Why? The thing is like, why people don't like cops? Oh shit, this guy pulled me over because I was going 90 on a 70. Well, you deserve a ticket. well, this police officer gave me a ticket for not having an ID on me. Well, you deserve to have a ticket. So just because we're doing things that are wrong, and sometimes we get mad just because we got a ticket for going on a red light or not stopping on a stop sign, then we take it on the cop. It's like, oh, you fucker,
Right.
why the fuck you gave me a ticket? It was like, well, you were doing something wrong. I'm supposed to give you a ticket. That's my job.
Right. Right.
You know,
But I don't think that
we
it's
hate,
only
we hate all the
10%.
cops.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
I don't
saying
know.
that
I don't know.
think it's
I don't
10
know. But
think
imagine
it's
there is
10%, but it's
there is
no, bro. They're being trained. If you're being trained, then I shouldn't be worried about my fucking life because you're the one that has all these guns and all these devices that are made to suppress me. And they are saying
this
that they feel threatened. So there's the numbers show it, bro. There's a lot of dead brown and black people. A lot.
I'm pretty
So I
sure
don't
they
disagree
were.
with you saying that it's
I'm pretty
only.
sure they were. I'm pretty sure they were dead because they were probably working, doing their job. I'm pretty sure they killed them because they were working and they were probably busy of doing something that they're
Actually,
supposed to.
Well-
they have been. There is a lot of cases that there are people minding their own fucking business. We just the video that he just mentioned. There was two cars. The fucking front car had two white female girls. They were driving, and then there was the two black couple. It was a girl and a black dude driving, and they just fucking picked them out of those two cars because it was curfew and they were driving around. So there we go. You're right. They were doing something wrong, but out of the two cars, and then you see them how brutal they were with these kids. How fucking brutal you have to be to sit there and do what they did to these kids and pull them out. And these kids are college kids. So guess what? There's another fucking lawsuit going on right now with those fucking cops. And guess what? They just got fucking fired. So it's accountability. And it's more than 10 fucking percent. It's a lot of the fucking police department. That's why this shit is happening. It's not 10%. It's not. Let's not dumb it down to fucking 10, 2%. That's bullshit. We're not here to point the fingers at good cops. I have a lot of fucking friends that are good cops. Trust me. They're the ones that teach me how to shoot my fucking guns because of the fucking Second Amendment. So if you can't shoot a gun, if you are doing something wrong, if you're a bad cop, if you're fucking evading taxes and you're fucking Hillary Clinton, or if you're Trump and you're fucking touching little fucking girls, then you should be held accountable as a fucking human being. I don't give a fuck what it is. But if you're my friend and you're doing something wrong, I'm going to call your ass out on it. And if you don't call me out on my shit, then you're not my friend. And that's why we need to have these fucking conversations, because I want to know who the fuck I'm talking to and who the fuck are my friends.
So there are 1 million cops out there. It's like more than 800,000 cops out there in the whole U.S.
Okay.
So by just saying that, it's like how many? Like I know we see a bunch of videos of, police brutality and things like that, but out of 1 million cops out there doing their job, I don't think so. There is, I want to believe that there is there's more good cops than bad cops out there, and
Right. I do too. Trust me. Like I wish that when I do my research and I find out how many cases have happened and how many cops there are, and we do the fucking formula and figure it out, I really do hope that there are more good cops out there than bad ones.
And
So, Elias, you think that there's not a systematic racism with cops? You think that this is all a fabrication?
There is, but not with every single cop. It's like I don't know. Like I was doing something on my phone. You were saying something, but you said that you were a waiter, and you say, okay, isn't like you do? Let's say somebody sits on the table, and if it's a black man, he probably is not going to tip you. Do you say that?
I didn't want to I don't want to say what race it was.
Okay, but okay,
But yeah, there was certain ethnicity. There's certain ethnicities.
Most of the people, like when you wait tables, like, oh, they're black, oh, they're not gonna tip. So you're already like pointing out there, saying like, okay, so you're already systematically, being racist to that table just because you're not gonna get it, you're not gonna get a good tip, or they're gonna ask you for a bunch of they're gonna ask for a bunch of lemon and water and make a lemonade and don't pay for a lemonade. They just want water. So you already know how they're gonna act and what they're gonna do. So I'm pretty sure.
Well, my question.
Look, the cops are out there to like imagine like they do a 10-hour job, 8-hour job. Imagine, so they can pull over so many people. Who do you think gives the worst reaction or gives the worst attitude when they couldn't pull over? Like when they ask, hey, let me get your ID and your registration. Why should I give you my ID and my registration? Because I'm a cop, I gotta fucking check you right now. Like, just give me your ID. I'm not gonna give you my ID. It's my right for me to have my ID on my pocket. Like, they start saying some stupid shit. So that pushes the cop to do something like, okay, I think I'm gonna force you to give you, for you to give me your ID, or then I will have to probably take you to jail. And in order for me to take you to jail, I will have to probably put you handcuffs, and probably use some, force in order for you to do what I said. Like, people cannot be like, give me a reason why you pull me over. Give me a reason. You see a bunch of videos like that. Like, give me why you pulling me over. I was like, I don't know if you saw videos like that, and they saw like
but there's just as many white ladies talking shit to the cops like that, and no, I that's the point that I was making earlier, Elias, when you were on your phone not paying attention to me. I agree with you, and I think that, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it right. It is a natural thing for humans to do, but it's almost like if you're expected to do this job that is extremely hard, you're held to a higher level where you have to be more aware of that. Like, if I'm a waiter and I just make this unconscious shit about people who tip me and don't tip me, is the consequences are really not that. Even though it's still wrong, the consequences are not as detrimental. But if you're a cop, if you're given a firearm and you are there to, like, with the ability to kill somebody, the expectation should be higher for you to be able to make those distinctions of your prejudgment, right? Like, because nobody's mad at the cop that shot the guy that was gonna kill a bunch of people, or it's just when they overreact, when they do shit like what happened right now, which happens more than it should happen. Is the idea is that it should happen less, right? Yeah, it's gonna happen sometimes. There's gonna be cops that are good. The majority of cops are good, but it's almost like when it does happen, it's too many times, and it's almost like nothing is being done about it. Right? That's where the frustration comes from.
If you go back in time, like, it's been a lot of change. I think it's getting better and better every time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we come from more like racism, more to the point. Yeah.
If you go back in the 60s,
but that's a great point, Elias. What is
Martin Luther King? Okay, that didn't happen a long time ago. That happened only 70 years ago. 70.
So what? That's a great point to bring up. So what produced that change? Protesting, uproar. That's what got this to happen. Where we got here was because of people saying this is enough. This is bullshit. Right? So, like, I don't disagree with the protest. I do think that there are some people that are taking the protest that don't actually believe in what's happening, and they're using that time to loot and do other shit. That's unfortunate. The protests are legitimate. I think there are people out there just saying, hey, I want to go get me some shoes from Target. Fuck this shit. And they have no dog in the race, and they don't really understand the values. They're just out there because they can, and that's unfortunate. There's plenty of videos of protesters trying to keep people from breaking shit, like, yo, stop. And they're, like, trying to get into REI and stuff. And it's just some people are just out there to get shit, which is so fucked up, dude. And I feel like some people are being sent by the government. Like, there's a lot of people that are, like, dressed on technique. I mean, we talked about this before, but, like, what, like, they're trying to make the protesters as violent when they're just sitting there, and then somebody else is going and breaking all the windows, and nobody really knows that guy that's breaking all the windows.
Anti-fascism, bro.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. I sometimes I don't even know what to do or say, or if I should say something or if I shouldn't say something,
And
or what's right away.
yeah, the other thing is like it's so hard to give your opinion away. It's, like I don't want to offend nobody. When I give my opinion, it's my personal opinion. This is this is what I believe. Like, but lately people, it's like I don't know. In Spanish we say queso de manteca. It's like, are you made of butter? Like whatever you say, like it marks them or it hurts them or something. Like I really think everybody should be able to have the freedom of giving their opinion without other people getting mad. It's like, okay, that's your opinion. I respect that. Like, I respect the people going out there and protest. And I really think they
I mean,
should
there's a
be out
difference
there
between.
protesting.
I feel like there's a difference between like having an opinion. Like you can have your own opinion. You can say like, I like seafood. I don't like oysters. Please don't feed me oysters. But when you have an opinion that is harassing people and that is very strong and that is very, it's like when you're doing social media and stuff, you should be aware. Like you should know not to fucking post a picture of yourself like hanging someone and like this guy that works at fucking UPS, and he put a picture of himself like threatening that he was gonna hang black people if they came near his town or whatever. And it's just like that kind of shit. Yeah, that's your First Amendment, freedom of speech. But don't you think that that's kind of fucked up? Like there's opinions, and then there's like actions, and then there's like actions, and then there's fucking actions of like a cop putting a fucking knee to someone's head and killing him. So they like, again, I keep going back to my same fucking point. Hold people accountable. Everyone around you, your friends, your mom, your sister, your brother, your wife, your whatever. Call them out, bro. Call them out. And the thing is too, is that it's a new generation. Like it's baby boomers, bro. This generation that we are dying right now is baby boomer generation. Right, when they came back from the fucking war, and they're like, oh, I haven't fucked for however long, and they come and they have all these fucking babies, and that has been the highest population of people in America in history. And now this generation is like, fuck kids, like I don't want any fucking kids. Like a lot of people just like kind of reserve, and they're like, no, I should probably concentrate on like on trips and flying and doing this. Why? Because of the internet. Because we have videos and we can see people doing cool shit, and we're like, oh my god, I want to do that cool shit. I want to go to Africa. I want to go here. I want to go there. And it's just like you are so fucking excited to travel around the world, you know? And these are global issues too, because of social media. And the millennials that they so called us or whatever, is us, and we're just like not putting up with shit, bro. Like I feel like the internet is just like very important, but we also have to have the responsibility as humans to use the internet wisely. You know? Like fuck misinformation, fuck sharing shit that you haven't checked. Like don't open your fucking mouth and tell somebody something if you can't back it up. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but like I'm at that point with people. I'm like, I don't even want to go to protesting anymore. I thought the first time around, I was like, man, fuck this protesting shit. That was
Wait, so how many protests have you gone?
So I went.
You've been out there like.
Well, since I was little, bro. Well, since I was little, I'm from Mexico City. Like Mexico City knows protesting, bro. Like we know fucking, because it's. You guys think this is like here in Raleigh? There's like a bunch of white noise. Think of a city like Japan and like bigger city concentration like us right now, but like feeding information into the system, like sharing videos and doing all that shit. And over there, that shit's controlled. We think we're getting our shit taken away here. Like the Asians and the fucking Japanese are fucking crazy, bro. They know every single thing about every single person. We're scared here, bro. We think we're protesting downtown. Go to fucking Mexico. Go to Chile. Go to Argentina. Protesting right now is off the fucking walls. You know? It's a reality that we're living. This is history in the making, bro. This is another fucking Martin Luther King. This is another like Malcolm X. This is another George Floyd. This is like we're about to make history. Like we're about to teach our kids this shit. The uprising. If we do it right. Like of holding people accountable for the fucked up shit that they do.
Hey, so how's it been downtown? Like, how are those? I haven't been at all.
For me, it was just like I had to show face, bro, because a lot of these motherfuckers here, like you think about the restaurant business and they're complaining, they're like, oh, they're fucking breaking into my restaurant and I pay a bunch. Not all of them, bro, but listen, bro. This is downtown Raleigh, bro. What you think I fuck it. I'll call them out. You think Ashley Christensen isn't gonna get enough money to rebuild her fucking restaurant? She ain't worried about shit right now. It's small businesses that couldn't manage their money that are gonna close down right now. You think all these big name restaurants that are backed up by fucking big billionaires, like, do you know who owns fucking Glenwood South? Do you know who owns like the food hall, the food halls? Who owns all this shit? Follow the fucking money, bro. Follow the fucking money, and then you will have a bigger picture of a lot of things. And the other thing that people piss me off on is they're like so concentrated on like global issues and shit. But because that's the white noise, bro. You can't concentrate on shit. So what do? We concentrate here with us, with our friends, with me, with you, because we live here in Raleigh, and this is our fucking community, bro. Like, this is our stand right now. Like, if we can't be teaching somebody something, if we can't be having a good time with something, if we're just like here angry, yelling at each other, then we're not gonna get nowhere. And it sucks because that's a reality that could happen. Like the internet could potentially make us dumb as fuck.
What I don't completely fully understand is what are we expecting from the protesting? Like, what is the results? Are we expecting them to put this particular cop in jail? Are we expecting legislation?
They have the trial. They had, I think it was.
But hear me out. Are we expecting legislation to change for like more punishment for police officers? Is there anything that has been clearly stated from this?
Exactly.
From this?
No. Exactly. Bro. That's a very good point. We haven't, but we have the power to hold people accountable. And how do we do that? By learning our laws, by speaking to our mayor.
Well, I'm failing to see how like the protests and the looting, other than that, like. It's very inconvenient.
It's two separate entities. You have to understand like who's bitching and why they're bitching about it, but you have to understand downtown. I'm sorry, bro, but like I grew up in downtown. I opened Dos Taquitos. I opened Whiskey Kitchen. I've worked at Garland. I recently was the chef of cuisine at Cortez in downtown next to Solas. My favorite bars are Circa. I shoot pool. Like I love downtown Raleigh, bro. And I used to sell tamales out of the bicycles, remember? Like, I lived downtown. I had my house downtown. A lot of things happened downtown, bro. I got married, my first marriage. I lived downtown. Like, I walked. I don't know if we walked. We walked to the fucking courthouse from my house to get married. Like, that's how intimate I am into 919. And that's what fucking pisses me off, bro. That, like, you want it to be 919, then you gotta live it, bro. Ride your bike. Like, I've ridden many of bikes through downtown. I used to sell tamales. When I used to work at Garland, bro, I would get off at Garland at 11 p.m. and then, like, pack up the bikes and then go sell tamales till 3 in the morning and then wake up in the morning and, like, do it all over again for, like, 5-6
Hey, but you were going to say how the looting and the protesting are different. What were you going to say?
Okay, so there are a lot of, you made a point. You were like, there's some infiltrators. There's some infiltrated people in there that you can't point out until you have that shit written on paper. Because a lot of these guys are wearing fucking masks. They're wearing motorcycle helmets. They're really covered up, bro. You can't identify them. So when you were protesting,
did you see one that seems like it was? Did you think that you seen some?
No. I didn't. On Sunday there was no looting and break, or I don't remember if there was another one. I think they did something else on Sunday, but the breaking shit was Saturday got crazy. Sunday, the amount of people that got there was less, and then Monday was the fucking. I think it was Wednesday. When yesterday was the Instagram bullshit like shutdown, right? The fucking black.
Yeah. The black.
So the day before
whatever.
that was. So this is, I don't know, bro. I've been staying up so late until 3 a.m, so my days are running together. But so I went Sunday and Monday. Monday is when, I went Sunday, and that's when like it was very peaceful. They had a fucking that was when the fucking mayor sent the fucking email. She sent an email at 6:19, bro. What's that bitch's name? Let me get my clipboard.
You got a clipboard?
Yeah, bro. Fuck this.
What do you have in that clipboard?
Oh,
You just
my notes. My
keeping track
of all these bitches, bro. Anyways, the fucking mayor. Look her up. Where Mary Ann, whatever, bitch.
So what's their mayor's name? You know this.
Mary Ann.
Well, it used to be Nancy McFarland. I don't know who the new mayor is.
You don't know this shit?
Yeah. But anyways,
You're fired, bro.
Mary Ann Baldwin. Yes, Baldwin.
Gotcha.
Hija de su puta madre. This bitch has the audacity. Smith
She
Susan over here. They hired her 4 weeks ago. 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, she just got into office. Like, she is not.
5 fucking weeks ago, right? During COVID.
Yeah.
During a fucking protest. She don't know what the fuck hit her. And then she's got some money probably from daddy or mommy, whatever. Old ass fucking bullshit money from probably a fucking, what are those called? Plantation money, bro. That's probably what she's got. She's got fucking plantation money. And
God damn.
And she's into construction. God. She's into construction. Now fuck that shit, bro. We're gonna call people.
Shout out to Marianne. Marianne, if you're listening.
Yeah, for real. But she
shout out.
She just started a fucking. She's a partner in a building. I don't know, bro, who she's working for, but she's making fucking money. I tell you that shit right now. She's making money. Lot of money. So she's part-time dealing with our bullshit protests that we're doing here, and she's part-time rebuilding all the restaurants that her friends need, because she's obviously friends with a lot of these people. She's probably friends with fucking Ashley Christensen. She's probably friends with the guy from Raleigh Raw. She's probably friends with the guys from fucking Morning Times. And all those motherfuckers. And Niall on Glenwood South. All those motherfuckers, bro. It's money. I don't blame him. I would, if you do it right, Raleigh right now, bro, is booming. Amazon's coming here. Google's coming here. Look at fucking California. Any minute, that shit's gonna fucking be bye-bye. Another island like Puerto Rico. And then Trump is gonna go over there and throw toilet paper at them. Yeah, bro. This shit is...
whatever
state, like 919, we are New York. You know why New York is so bad, bro? Because they're fucking... The populations are crazy, bro. Like, they're fucked. They're shut down right now. Guess what state is next? Look at geographically where we are. You know, we're perfect, bro. They're looking for the new headquarters. I'm telling you, bro. Like, New York ain't...
Here's one thing that I'm legitimately afraid of, that, you know, there's a lot of social injustice and shit like that or whatever, right? But I feel like if this is being manipulated for elections, what has this done to us is almost made us forget about COVID, right? People are getting together in masses, not forgetting about COVID, right? The Republican primaries were supposed to be held in Charlotte, and the mayor of Charlotte is not allowing it because they don't want him to be together there, right?
Right.
And something like.
So the Republican convention was supposed to be held in Charlotte, but
we have COVID.
The governor said, "Look, y'all are gonna have to do some sort of social distancing. It can't be a full-fledged convention."
And he's taking it somewhere else because of that,
right.
Or he's saying that he is. But my point is this: it's almost like. This is like the perfect time for a lot of things to happen, that could keep Trump in office for longer, bro. Like it could be like part of a huge fucking conspiracy. Because if we do go into some sort of war and civil war, then he's gonna stay in office longer. Also, it's allowing people to get very intense and gather in masses. There's gonna be people that are really pissed at the protesters that are destroying the cities and are destroying everything, and they're gonna go vote for Trump because they're tired of this shit. We're not being harsh enough. We're not being strong enough, and those are the people that vote. Because a lot of the left leaning people, the people who are protesting, don't vote. Like they don't give a fuck. They're just too crazy. So this is just instigating shit that could be going for them.
Here's the thing: if they're going to waste their time out on the streets protesting, and not like it's a waste of time, but if they're spending their time protesting, then they should be spending their time voting.
But they don't, bro. But most of those people that protest are idealistic and they don't believe that anything. Most of those people who protest are probably not happy with Biden. So I'm saying like this could be a perfect storm for Trump to actually get reelected because of this bullshit. Because all those racists, all those people that love him, all those people that are against the protest are not speaking up. But guess what? They're gonna go vote, and this is just getting them more riled up.
Well, let me go back to
that's what I worried about.
Let me go back to that looting point that you were asking about. These are specific groups of people, bro. You also have the young 17-year-old that is a fucking kid. He's never dealt with anything because they are born with phones now. Kids are born with phones now, bro. So they've never protested. They've never done shit like this. They barely go the fuck outside. This is our future. Kids that sit inside and all they need is a fucking address, internet and a plug, and they're happy inside in a couch for hours at a time.
Wait. What does that have to do with what I'm saying is because of this?
Listen, bro, so the looting and shit. So those kids are the ones that go out there and they are breaking shit and they're like, yeah, bro, this is cool. Haha. We listen to a bunch of gangster fucking music and don't even let me get into the whole fucking culture and black culture.
But there's also the possibility that those people are.
But there's also the other people, the anti-fascist people that are fucking sitting there just instigating and egging it on and breaking these protests and turning them into blacks again black. Like this is exactly what they want us to do. They want us to fight each other and like have opinions. Like if you look at the news, all they're giving you is the worst shit, like sensationalism, bro. All they're giving you is like the worst, and they can manipulate it however they want to. These are tactics that have been used for years. Like the social media is a lot of white noise that is misinformation. The main media, you know, and that's why that's why fucking Trump is trying to censor the Twitter right now. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things, like a lot of the looting and shit. Yeah, it's happening, bro. But there comes a point with, like, I don't know if you listen to Rage Against the Machine and fucking 333. Like, there's all these music that has been made about this stuff already. Like, we have the information. We've seen it. We know what it looks like. We just need to figure out how we want it to end. If we want to be the other era of, like, a better society, of like holding people accountable and being like, fuck you, bro, you did something wrong.
The problem is that more people get excited about protesting than voting. That's one of the problems too.
Yeah, bro.
That's a huge problem.
Exactly.
The other thing is that there's a lot of it is money, right? So like what's getting what gets people going is money, dude. It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
But on that note, we've been at it for a little over an hour, so we normally like to do here ever is like just do a closing statement on like what we talked about. Typically it's a little bit more lighthearted, but today got a little intense, so it's fine, dude. That's what we're gonna do. What I take away from this is that I don't fucking know what's going on, man. But it just seems I think that protesting is justified. I really do think that. I mean, number one, there should be protesting. It's just a little bit suspicious to me that this one particular topic comes up, and I'm a little worried that it's all just manipulation. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. and all manipulation to actually control the elections and potentially like create some sort of chaos in the United States. Like, dude, we could go down into a war or some shit. Like, people don't realize what that actually means, dude. That means people are going to be dying and starving and weird shit like that we're not necessarily prepared to do. But that's my 2 cents.
That's a nice closing statement.
I know, like, I'm a little scared.
Children dying and shit. That was a nice one.
I want to keep it nice, you know. Who wants to go next?
Hey,
just close it up, Tucci. What do you think?
Talking about closing statement, you know what I was thinking is like, what's the solution to this? You know, so I was doing some equations. You know, like, so I got a couple numbers written down.
El matemático.
Cálculo matemático. So the best way to kind of solve all this problem is so everybody will have to mix with everybody. I have to marry someone probably color skin. Martin, you're already getting mixed. That's a good thing. You know, Ever, you have to marry a black girl. So we all have to mix, you know. So if we all mix, then you know, then we all be the same kind of like, you know, getting there. Like, there's not gonna be no more white. There's not gonna be no more black. We all mix, and you can all say el negro de tu papá, la negra de tu mamá. O sea, tu papá negro, tu mamá negra, tu papá negro, tu papá negro. You know. So
we would find something else.
That's the solution I came out with during this podcast. I think it's pretty good, man. So the new law will be you cannot marry the same race.
Interracial marriage. That's it.
Alrighty.
For those who are listening that don't know the word negro in Spanish does not mean the equivalent in English. It just means African American. Just want to make that distinction. I don't want anybody getting offended.
Yeah, don't get offended. And if you don't fucking
you
travel and
bitch.
you haven't gone to another fucking country, then fuck you. Get a plane ticket. Go somewhere else, bitch.
I'm sure you have. Well, I think Ever's gonna have the most to say. So, Tucci, what do you have to say for closing statement?
Well, I mean, I hope everyone has taken the most important message away from tonight, which is, if you were to ever have Martin as a server, do not stiff him.
It's not just me, dude.
Because he will forever hold it in his soul.
You have no idea, dude. It's not just me. Oh my
god!
Podcast. That's fucking hilarious.
And it's not. It won't just be you. It'll be your race as well. Okay.
It'll be
everything about you.
Wrong message. That's not what I meant. Everybody that's waiting tables knows what I mean.
This is supposed to be my time. Can I talk, please?
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Second thing is, like, we don't even know who the fuck the mayor of Raleigh is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because you should be out there protesting. You should be out there exercising your civil rights, right? And more than anything, hopefully this brings about positive change. But even if it doesn't, at least you tried. At least you lived in a democracy. And you went out there and fought for it, right? That's all this is about. That's it. So what? There's a couple of looters. Shit happens, right? Crime happens. Actual crime does happen. Okay. Surprise to everybody, I'm sure. And it's not all of the fucking protesters, but, you know, I digress. But anyway, get out there, have fun, exercise your rights, and I'll see you next week.
Fuck yeah.
Ever, do you have anything else to say, or are you done?
Yeah, bro. For me, it's just like, if you can sit there and scroll through fucking Facebook, okay, let's just use our phones as what they are and what we call them, smartphones. But we're fucking stupid. So we just sit there and scroll through Facebook or Pinterest and like Instagram and like look through bullshit. But if you just sit there and treat your phone as a smartphone, always researching, when somebody tells you something, like look it up. Like when somebody's like telling you something, be like, nah, it's like this, and show them and teach them, and maybe you can like, I don't know, change your surroundings, like the immediate people around you, you know, just like us, who we are, our friends, our family and stuff. And with that, then you've tried, you know. And if you want to go out there and like fucking protest, go out there and protest. And if you're fucking angry and feel like breaking something, fuck it, fucking break it. Just make sure it's a Walmart, it's like a fucking CVS, it's fucking big corporations, pharmaceutical companies. Don't break the fucking small business owner, the people that are barely trying, the people that barely open, bro. That's fucked up. But those kids don't know how to distinguish the two and two. So what I say is do the McDonald's, do the Wendy's, do the big fucking shit. Do all of those. Fuck them. Fuck.
Here's how you get in.
Fuck. Make.
So let me tell you how to do it. So on that note, go fuck up a McDonald's, guys. I'll see you next week. Peace.